Amsterdam, and she debuted with Shanghai Blue, which is a really beautiful page-turner of a novel. It's about Reng Lang. She is adopted, an orphan, and she goes back to Shanghai to find out more about her biological parents. And we know these programs, Spoorloos, and these search almost always ends in hugging and laughing and tears and happiness. At least that's what we see. This story is quite different. The deeper she goes into the backgrounds of her biological parents, the darker and sinister story becomes. And that background casts a spell over the present life of Reng Lang. She's going to read from it today. Give her applause. Yue Tao.
It's a story about searching for biological parents, but actually it's not a topic. It's really about this. I'm not really interested in searching for parents or family kind of drama. It's more like I use it as a metaphor by searching for one's root. I want to talk about searching for truth for one's own culture. Because as I live here longer and longer, the further away you're from your own culture, actually you have more questions about actually who you are. It's about who am I story. I'm not going to tell too much about story as it's a page turner, and I can promise you a jaw drop ending, so do read to the end. So I'm not going to tell too much to spoil the plot. I'm going to read at the very beginning, the prologue, and the very little part of the first chapter of European Summer. I sit on a playground bench and watch Adam shoveling in a sandbox. The sound of sand falling into his bucket resonates the rustle of tree leaves in the breeze. He knits his little brow, totally absorbed as if building a monument. His features are exquisite. I stare enraptured, unable to believe he is mine. I am grateful almost to tears. Contemplation of absolute tranquility piques the will to believe in providence. But that night, 3 years ago of truth, surreptitious attraction on an evening out, hot adultery in the dark, warm skin on cold sheets, ghostly reflections in the wardrobe mirror. People often ask, what brought me back to Amsterdam? I say a letter that made me leave Shanghai. They think I must be a political refugee. I neither confirm or deny their presumption. Is my situation any better? A refugee who escapes is free, but no matter how far away I get, what happened that night holds me spellbound. Only I know the facts. The letter is ashes. The cousin who wrote it is dead. As long as I say nothing, the event never happened. I thought burning the letter would free me, but as it shriveled away page by page, my horror, shame, and guilt clung. And still cling a continent away in this deceptively simple, quiet country. They erupt without any warning when I'm happiest. I fled my partner in crime but cannot escape the memory. I'm locked in a mental prison where I'm both inmate and guard. Possessed by that unspeakable sin, I must be my own exorcist and free my soul by recounting my experience as it happened in the present tense. I see no other way to consign it to oblivion. Now the first chapter, Homecoming, is to tell the story. The story begins as the main character steps off the plane, arriving home. Shanghai smells of mildew. Muggy air assaults me as I step off the plane. I remember only the monsoon season having this smell. Now it is August, a month after the monsoon, but the smell is everywhere. Passport control, luggage hall, people's clothes, taxi seats. The city reeks of decay. Everything in it rots, even modern, glittery, chic young man and woman. This familiar smell upsets and soothes me. My mind says my hometown should be clean, bright, fashionable, modern, proud, but my senses tell me it is not. I smell the walls of my childhood home in the monsoon season, walls that sweat gray-green mildew spots and stank of wet plaster. I arrived at midnight on 7th August. Wishing not to disturb my elderly aunt and uncle, I told them I would arrive the next morning. Tonight, I stayed downtown at the South Ocean Hotel. After checking in, settling into a room, and taking a bath, I feel no urge to sleep and go downstairs to the bar. The bar called Mask is more popular than the hotel itself. Most customers are not hotel guests. In summer, the garden is open. I choose a table beside a tree and order a glass of white wine. The night air is summer sticky and smells of dark green plants. A breeze now and then lightens the air, making the humidity bearable. Crickets chirp shrilly in the bushes. I cannot remember how long ago I last heard them, 10 years at least. I came home several times to visit meanwhile, but somehow missed the season. I cannot even remember hearing crickets since I grew up. Too busy? Too distracted? Cricket chirping recalled the long, uneventful summer nights of my childhood. I thought these little creatures might go extinct, but they endure as if to remind me I'm home for good. Candlelight reflects in the sunglasses of a man at the table opposite. I have been studying him. His lion nose and peach flower mouth, which make his face at once harsh and gentle, are familiar. He seems to be observing me as well, though I cannot tell for sure. I cannot see his eyes. Why wear sunglasses at night? He is sitting under a lamp, insects dance above his head, but he seemed not to mind or even notice. He wears a silk shirt. The light gives it a distorted purple color. The collar is open. Around his neck a red string, probably suspending a jade talisman. He looks about 40, a businessman, maybe a restaurant owner or a seafood dealer. Did I meet him somewhere? As I rack my brain guessing who he might be, he stands up, swills the rest of his drink, and walks away. I stop guessing. If I really know him, the name will come back when I'm not thinking about it. Most likely, I do not know him at all. He could just be a passerby from years ago. A loud motor house, a scarlet Lamborghini pulls away. The man in sunglasses at the wheel. The real license plate reads Shanghai A8888. Above the number it says, "Fuck you."